This is afternoon programming with L. Oh man, what's going on, everybody? This is episode 28 of afternoon programming. It's been 2 weeks. How are you? I know. I guess I say I was on a little vacation, but it was more so. I just recently moved to a new spot, as you can tell from this new room. I'm now homeless. No, no. Me and my partner P, we moved to a new location, a new space. We got a little bit of an upgrade, and now I have my own little small studio space. I'm not into vlogging or anything like that, or otherwise I would show you, do a little tour video or something like that. Because I'm very picky. I don't like showing my stuff off. I don't like showing people where I live or showing people, what it looks like, I don't want to get caught slipping. You know what I'm saying? But, unless you're a close friend, then you've been here. But anyway, we moved to a new space. So now this is the new set. I'm going to get some stuff, hopefully in the background. I might switch up the angle, doing the computer thing's kind of cool, but I got a new desk on the way, which is really dope. It's a studio desk that my partner P got for me. Oh my God, I'm so fucking happy. It's a studio desk, you can't really see this desk that I think it's got a wood top and 4 legs. And it's a pretty standard desk, but I didn't like that there's this little rail guarding underneath it. And it kind of makes it hard. Sometimes I have clamp-ons, my mic's on a clamp-on, but sometimes it's hard to do it. But this new one that I'm getting, it's meant for studio music production and all that. It's super dope. Anyway, besides that and boring you with what I'm getting and on the way. Yeah, so it's crazy. I was scared moving into this place because I don't know about y'all, but sometimes when you're I guess maybe let's say career would be a good example. When you're trying to strive for something, sometimes you have to take chances, You have to take chances on going after that thing that you want, because as an old saying, there's an old saying that says, things worth having. Oh shit! I just fucked up. Things that are worth having, they require some sort of risk. If it wasn't worth having, everybody would have it. So initially, before we moved into this new place, I was like, I don't know how we're gonna do it. How are we gonna afford to live here, or how are we gonna move here? I just didn't get it in my head. But P, luckily, she was like, no, we can do it. We can do it like this, and kind of we laid out a plan. So, I was scared because sometimes, I don't know about y'all, but sometimes whenever y'all are stepping up to the plate, so to speak, for an opportunity or something like that you've been working on, you get a little nervous. It's kind of nerve wracking, but I think you get kind of like butterflies, and that's a good thing. Because it's you want to be sure that you're ready for the thing that you're chasing, or the thing that you want. And so kind of reminds me too of whenever, I went on tour with Crit. I always bring this up. But when I went on tour with Crit, I had to go through a little interview process with his manager and, creative director, and they were talking about what they wanted to do. And I was trying to sell myself to, go on tour and stuff. And I was nervous. And then I remember when I got it, I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is so dope. But immediately I was like, oh shit, I'm nervous. This is my first tour. I don't even know if I can do this. Can I do this? Is this even a possibility? But after the first day, and you getting kind of a swing of things, and kind of seeing how how everything kind of went in motion and what the rhythm of it was, I was able to figure it out. And then I got comfortable, and I was like, okay, bet. I know how it goes. I know the rhythm of everything, which I kind of feel like that's how it is with a lot of things in life. We're all kind of just dancing to our own rhythm, right? And sometimes we have to switch up our rhythm. We have to change our dance or something like that. What kind of a fucking metaphor is this? But everything has a rhythm to it. I believe that there's a pattern to things. There's a pattern to things if you just pay attention to the detail. Now, I say that knowing that not everybody's meant to see the pattern, and not everybody's meant to understand life that way. Not every person is meant to take it that way, because there are people who see life in a different way and they're successful and they're succeeding. But I digress. I'm going on a tangent. We moved into this new place. It's super dope. I don't know if you can tell. Our dog Hawk is in the back. She's sleeping because she didn't want to hear me talk. So I'm trying not to talk too loud. But we're in this new place. We're finally settled in. It's super dope. We love it. And that's like one of the things that happened. Also, your boy over here just turned the big old 33. The big old 30. The big 33. I turned 33. Birthday was February 22nd. So you do the math. What year I was born, but turned 33, and it's crazy. As I don't know if it's maybe like as I get older, this birthday was like cool. It was chill. It was relaxing, which I always like. Nothing too crazy. I didn't go out because I'm not really like, man, if you know me, for all my friends who do know me, if you're listening, I'm much of I'm a recluse. Like I like to stay home and I like to be comfortable in my home because this is where I'm at. And don't get me wrong, I like going out every now and then, but like it's very, very seldom. I think that's the word. But I don't like going out anyway. I did have like a little kickback with some friends, and that was like cool, and it was cool for everybody to come through. And thank you to everybody who did. Thank you to everybody who wished me a happy birthday. I really appreciate it. And yeah. But it's so interesting because, like, I know when I was a kid, like, this is going to sound a little depressing, but when I was a kid, of course, birthdays were like everything to you. You were like, oh, man, this is so dope. And, like, people are going to give me gifts. People are going to do this, da, da, da. As you get older, it kind of, your perspective switches a little bit. You know, some people, you have them where they kind of fear getting older, which I used to be like that. I used to be scared of getting older because I didn't want to grow up. Like I just, I wanted to just live a chill life and play games all day or whatever. But then after a while, you kind of like, oh, it's a good thing to grow up. You have those people, and you have people who like turn up and celebrate their birthday. They're all like, this whole month is me, or this whole week is my birthday, blah, blah, blah. But it's just so interesting. And I'm losing my train of thought. Where the fuck was I going with that? I say all that to say that thank you for all the wishes. Thank you for all the kind things. It was nice to have a chill birthday with friends and just close friends, and it was just a good time, and I like that. I like being chill and being in my own space, and I'm more so, you know what it is? I like when people come to me. I don't like I don't like going to people. I'm very I'm very lazy. And like when you're at home and you have like your birthday there and chill, sure, you might have to clean up with just whatever, but once it's done, or if you want to disappear, you just disappear. I have this thing where I do the Irish goodbye. If you don't know what that is, the Irish goodbye is basically when you just leave an event or you leave a place without saying goodbye to anybody. You just dip, and here this time, I think this was the first time I didn't dip. I was just like, yo, I'm having a lot of fun, and it was cool to see everybody come through. But anyway, thank you to everybody who came through. I really appreciate that. Wanted to let everybody know. So I've been working on so many things. That's why I haven't like dropped a podcast episode in 2 weeks. But I've been working on so many things. I recently dropped a single with my homie Ronnie Mars. She's super dope. We dropped a song called More Than Friends. And that was like a super dope vibe. She's a dope artist. Check her out if you can. She's on all streaming platforms. Ronnie Mars, RONIMARZ, all together. At least from Spotify that I know of. But I think everywhere else might be spaced. But we dropped a single, and everybody's been fucking with the song, and we really appreciate it. And so that's really dope. But I got another track coming out with another friend that I think if you know who I hang with or who I make music with, you'll know who this is. But can't wait for a minute. I've been listening to this song like nonstop. Nonstop, and it's just, it's so dope because I'm in like project mode, album mode, or whatever, what you call it. And so I think I have the cover done for the project. I'm not going to drop the name just yet, but it's going to be super dope. And if everything goes right, I want to drop like 3 or 4 projects. One thing that I have been realizing as I'm doing this, as a creative person, we always go into this mode of always wanting to create because we want to make a living off of the things that we create, or, just be able to live I don't know what the fuck I'm saying, but we all want to make a living. And like, I had this thing recently where I was trying to find ways of how to make a living off the things that I'm talented at. And I think today hit me. I was like, I'm not doing anything to make money, like, but I kind of realized that is one of those moments where we kind of, as a creative people, we have to sometimes live life, because that's where we get the inspiration after we experience a little bit of life, and we are able to be a human for a little bit. And it helps out so much with the creating process. You can, sometimes some people, you can create from nothing and not have to share any experiences or, watching movies or do whatever. But more times than not, when you do stuff like that, you kind of force it, and most of the time, I mean, I'm only speaking for myself really, but when you create from like just forcing it, most of the time it's not going to be your best work. And I had that reality and that realization when I think I worked on the cover for this next single, uploaded the track to be released when it drops. And then I was like, okay, cool. And then I was thinking to myself, damn, I really haven't created anything to sort of like make a living off of or whatever. And then I was like, well, no, maybe this is just one of those days where you kind of just live life. You do everything else right now. And so I say all of that to say that creative people, or just people in general, don't forget to live life, because from living your life and, something as simple as just hanging out with friends or watching a movie or going out to eat or just something chill, whatever, like it can replenish that creativity to allow you to come back stronger, if that makes sense. Sometimes, we got to be careful because we can succumb to that pressure. We can fold under there. The pressure of always needing to create, or, always trying to create the next, best thing of whatever we do, whether it be art, music, whatever. And so, but I say all that to say that, so that More Than Friends song came out, go stream that. There's a link in my bio on It's Easy L. That's my music page. So that's super dope. It's super vibing, super wavy. That ain't the last you heard of me and Ronnie together. And so that's super dope. Got another song coming out, and then probably one more, and then I'm dropping a project finally, because I want to be more consistent this year with music. And so every month you're going to get something from me, whether it be a single, whether it be instrumental project, or just, music, or just whatever. I want to drop more, because I think I'm now at a point where I'm just like, well, really I've been at this point, but now I want to hold myself a little bit more accountable, where I just want to release stuff that I want to release more things and not be held up by perfectionism. Because that's another thing that as artists, we kind of can slow us down. It's it's the thing that we release not being perfect enough. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't make sure that if you make music that the track isn't mixed like as best as it can be, or mastered as best as it can be, or it's just all lazy. I'm not just saying to drop random things and not actually put effort into it. I'm saying more so like when something sounds good, just release it. You got to release your babies. You got to release your children from if you got to release them. If not, they're going to be stuck on that hard drive or the computer or whatever, and they never come out. And so it's good to do that, because then from there, that's how you learn, and that's how you grow, and that's how you do all that. And so, but yeah, so there's more on the way. There's more good stuff coming from there. And then also like photography and videography, which is something that I didn't think I was going to get back into. But anyway, enough about me. I've talked about myself for about 15 minutes now. I actually wanted to talk about really one of the few things. I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, and it's like super wild, man. My condolences and good energy. I don't even know if that really means anything to the people in the Ukraine with everything going on there. It's a lot of wild stuff going on. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, that war is still a thing, it's kind of crazy. But anyway, I hope, sorry to the people who've lost them. sorry to the people who have been lost, and then also like I just hope that everything comes to an end sooner than later, rather than later. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something. This is probably like going to be a short episode, by the way, so sorry about that. But hey, still whatever. So Kanye West dropped Donda 2, but he only dropped it on the Donda, or not the Donda, the stem player. He has a stem player. Let me see. You're gonna hear this typing. To stem player. So it's on this website, stemplayer.com. This shit looks hilarious. But I see it. So he dropped this project. So only exclusively on this stem player they have. That he released or he licensed or whatever. It's like a circle that's kind of like not off white, cream colored or something like that. Anyway, and basically, if you're not aware of this, it's this thing that it almost looks like a little Walkman or something like that. But anyway, it has like a cross sort of thing with different lights, and they each you can remix a song that is from the project, or really any song that you put on there. But anyway, the album is on there. I'm talking too much. My brain's rambling. The album's on there, and he dropped it there exclusively. And I think, if I remember right, let me see. No. I'm trying to see if I can see how much it is. Add to cart. $200. This stem player is $200. If you want to listen to Donda 2 exclusively, it's on there. I don't know if he'll eventually one day drop Donda 2 to streaming services, but his reasoning behind this is that he was saying he went through like a lengthy like post. Let me see if I can find this. Kanye West Instagram, because Kanye's funny on Instagram. He's been like wild and posting like it's so interesting seeing his stuff. Is this it? Yeah. So this is a post when he first made about Donda 2. Donda 2 will only be available on my own platform, the stem player, not on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or YouTube. Today, artists get just 12% of the money the industry makes. It's time to free music from the oppressive system. It's time to take control and build your own. Go to blah, blah, blah to order, whatever. Which is very interesting because if you're not familiar with the music industry, it's not a fun place to be. I say that as a singer, as a producer. It's a very like shady industry. It's crazy how, in a way, which I feel like the movie industry is the same way. Now I don't know whether or not that's changing with everything that's changing in Hollywood. You know, a lot of executives getting outed and like getting kicked out for the shady stuff that they did. But a lot of people, even to this day, music industry is very shady. Record labels are very shady. Not to say that there aren't good people, but for the most part, it's a very shady industry. If you ever sign a major label deal, if you're an artist, man, be careful. Make sure you read the fine print, because most of the time, you know, they might give you an upfront thing that you get like an amount of money, but you won't make any other money until one, they recoup that money, and however much percentage they take from you, whatever. I'm talking nonsense. But it's kind of crazy because like for me, at first when I saw this, I was like, yo, this is wild. He's, you know, trying to sell his stem player. I'm like, this is so crazy. Like, why would he do this? You know, I almost feel like it's not the right thing to do because he's kind of only making it, he's making it exclusive. But, you know, how many people are really going to buy this, which ends up being actually a lot of people. In the grand scheme of things, he said that he was only making a few, but he said that he's made over, I think, $2 million. I can't remember. He had shown like some figures of how much he's made from it. It was like 2 million at the time, and I think it jumped up to 4 million. I can't remember. But it brings up an interesting question that I wrote down for this episode that I wanted to ask. You know, one, is this a good idea? And I asked that question because one, what he's essentially doing is that if you don't buy one of these, you're not going to be able to listen to Kanye West's new album. I'm not going to say to a lot of people, but to a lot of people, I just said it. To a lot of people, that's a bad idea because you're not everybody's going to listen to it. And, you know, not everybody's got $200 to just be spending on this. But some people, I guess in the art world, or like just when it comes to making things exclusive, this kind of draws a spotlight to it of like, oh, this is wild. It kind of reminds me of a thing where, in a sense, if you remember Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, what he did, and like Kanye's not the first one to do this, but in a way where Nipsey Hussle, when he released, I can't remember which project it wasn't Mailbox Money, but it was Crenshaw or something like that, or he sold a mixtape that he dropped. I think he sold it for $100, and he sold the physical copies for $100. I think eventually that mixtape or that project went to streaming services, but he said, if you want this, you got to pay $100 to buy this. Jay-Z bought like 100, and so $100 times $100 physical sales, you know, that you do the math, and that's all going to that all went back to Nipsey. And I think the example that Nipsey gave, if I remember right, there was this, I think it's in Philadelphia, some sort of restaurant that was that sells Philly cheesesteaks, but they were the first one, I think, that sold the Philly cheesesteak for $100. And people are like, you're crazy, like nobody's gonna pay for that. But that way of kind of like selling the thing kind of made more people want to be like, $100, is it really worth $100? And it drew the attention of all these like famous people, and the next thing you know, people were like, whoa, like what is this? And then it started to like grow in popularity, and like people who were willing to pay for that paid for it, and they made, you know, money. And so it's interesting because a part of me too, which brings me to my second question of Kanye doing this is $200. And all that money that he makes from the stem player is going back to him. It's not going to anybody else, any other labels or anything like that I know of. It's all him. And because another thing that he said in there was that this is the future, you know, because remind you, as I was saying, the music industry is a very shady place. Artists, a lot of the time, if you sign to a major, you're not going to make a lot of money, depending on, hopefully, if you got good lawyers or somebody to look over that contract for you. Just because they want a cut of everything most of the time, because, you know, labels don't make money off of physical album sales anymore. They make it off of streaming. And so, which brings me to I'll say all of that to say that this brings me to my second question of, is this the future? That's a good question. Is this the future of music? You know, who's going to stop? So Kanye did this. Now, maybe I feel like there's probably other different iterations of this. Now, you know, I don't know if this will be the future in a sense, but I think what might happen personally for me is, in my opinion, I think what's going to happen is a company is going to come out with a player or something like that. And they're going to make it, you know, available to everybody. Maybe it won't be $200, or maybe it will. I guess it depends. But a company could come up with an idea and be like, you know, we're going to make our own player. And they might be able to be like, we're going to pay artists exclusively to drop their project on our player for the first month or the first week or two or whatever. And you can only listen to it here. Which I think in a way Apple does that, but I don't know how much, you know, money they pay artists. Like, you know, to only drop it exclusively on a certain streaming service before it goes to other streaming services. And so it's just interesting. But as I'm saying that and as I'm thinking about it, I don't think this is the future personally. I mean, because I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. I guess maybe it depends on, one, what are you in this for? Do you want to make money? Which I think most, if not all, artists want to make money. They want to make a living off of this. Or do you just, you know, I don't even know what the other part would be. It'd be like, do you just want to make music and release it, you know, and put it out there, you know? Are you in this for the love? Are you in this for the money? Are you in this for both, you know? It's really interesting. I will say it is kind of innovative idea. Now, I don't know. I think this might be one of those things where like the stem player is like just a niche thing. I don't think it's possible for it to take over worldwide. When I say worldwide, I mean, you know, like, I don't know if 50% of the world will ever buy that. I don't think that's possible. I think it almost feels like a piece of art, if that makes sense. There's only a limited number of these things. You can have it. You can have this piece of history when he dropped this album. it seems more so just like a marketing ploy in a way. I will say the cool thing about these players is that people, if you're on TikTok or just social media anywhere, what they do is they take other songs and they're able to kind of like do these little, not really remixes, but they can play different parts of the song. So if they just want to hear the vocals, they only hear the vocals. If they want to hear the beat, they only hear the beat. Or if they only want to hear the bass, they hear the bass, or, you know, take in, take out, however they please. And so I don't know. I don't think this is the future. I do think maybe further down the line, this is like a preview of what the future could be. I don't think it's coming soon. I think it's probably not for another. I could be wrong as I say this, but I think it's not going to be for another like 10, 15, 20 years till like something like that. Just because I'm trying to think, when did streaming services first come out? It's like let's see, when did Spotify come out? Like, I guess in 2008. Oh my god. Because you kind of had, well, no, iTunes was more so you bought music and you could play it from your computer. Streaming, I guess you were technically streaming, but Spotify in a way where it launched in 2008. When did it become popular? Was it in 2008? Okay. By 2010, it's beginning to flow into Spotify. Wow. So that was actually short. So 2008 is when Spotify first launched, and we're in 2022. What's that? It's 12 years? No, 14. Yeah, 14 years. It's 14 years that Spotify's been around. I don't know. I think the possibilities, I think this will just be another variation of something else that happens with music that'll be cool. But I don't think this is the future. There might be like a few like other big artists drop. Drake could drop one and be like, I'm dropping my own Drake player, you know, type of thing. But I don't think this is the future. It just doesn't make sense because at the end of the day, I guess maybe accessibility, technology, you want it to be easier for people. Like, you know, if everybody they want one place to go get all their music, or they want, you know, to be able to go to Spotify and they have all the albums that they like on there, all the songs that they like on there. You know, I say all that, but I think what happened recently? I think, what the fuck was it? Something happened. I wish I would have remembered. I think it had to do something with streaming. I can't fucking remember. Whatever. I guess it's not important. But something where I think there's a pattern where old things become new again. Let me actually check real quick. Can I just see news, please? I think it had something to do with like Netflix or like, is it entertainment? Let me check. Let's check entertainment. What the fuck? Okay, I guess maybe I can't remember. But what you're gonna notice a lot of the time with how things work, well, at least what I believe in, is things happen in patterns. And I think that just like when everybody hated cable, you know, and they were like, I want to pay for only what I watch. And then what ended up happening was streaming happened. And then now you kind of pay near the same thing, kind of sort of, in cable. And then, you know, I think the same thing's going to happen with music, where that's what I meant to say. So like, it's kind of crazy how music first started off on, you had, you know, 8-track players, vinyl, cassettes, CDs, or whatever. And you had to like put them in and stuff like that. The stem player kind of reminds me of the Walkman, where you can only put this song on there or just whatever. And so it kind of feels like old things become new again in a different way. And so it's just an interesting perspective. But anyway, I don't know if any of that was interesting. Whatever. It's an episode. I'm back. I'll be dropping once a week, every Wednesday. I don't even know if I can announce it. I got a new podcast, another podcast. Oh my God, another fucking podcast. I'm doing another podcast because I just have the time to do it with a friend of mine that's going to be more centered on video games. When that drops, you'll know because we'll post or I'll share it and stuff like that. I can't wait for that to come out. But I think that's going to be the episode. I think I'm going to keep it short. It's just going to be like a little 30-minute thing. I just wanted to check in with everybody, say what's up. Hopefully y'all are good. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I'm I'm feeling inspired, and I'm in a new place, and it's super dope. And so make sure you follow Afternoon Programming on Instagram. Make sure you follow on Spotify, Apple Podcast, everywhere you get your podcast. Make sure you rate, review, and subscribe, because that really helps. Make sure you follow the YouTube, which is down here somewhere. Or if you're watching this, thank you. Make sure you subscribe. And other than that, man, thanks again for everybody, and I'll catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.